I'm assuming that you either left or weren't satisfied with my answer to your question, or just because we can't test another surgical because I just don't own it on Magic Online, why don't we test the second odds? It's pretty sweet. Yeah, we can. After all of my testing was the hardest matchup, still Tron. Like, I think if I was to go to the GP with this, what I would do... Okay. If I was to take this to the GP, honestly, I think what would have to happen is you'd have to be more about this interaction. And you'd have to load up more on Boom Bust. Like, you'd have to do this. You'd have to cut the... You have to move this sideboard, cut this. And then you'd have to be brave and maybe even shave the fourth helix from the sideboard. And then put this in the sideboard, and then... or don't run it at all. Run another surgical. Or you can even shave, like, the Jace, and then maybe even the fourth Nahiri. Yeah, so you shave that, and then this is tutorable, and then... You have to add more Boom Bust. You'd have to load up on the Boom Bust. Like, you'd need a playset of Boom Bust. Now, on Magic Online, I can test a playset of Boom Bust. Here's the thing. Another reason I don't really want to go into a league with this is I can't actually show you how these cards perform with Brain. Because they're not programmed properly on Magic Online. With Brain Jar, you can actually just get in people with this, and it's actually really cool. And very good against Tron in my testing. Like, I actually did test briefly the playset of Boom Bust. And so this isn't really Jeskai Control anymore. This is like something else. This is like a turn 4 get in people deck. Which is actually really powerful. There are a lot of decks in the format that aren't prepared to have all of their lands destroyed turn 4 pretty consistently. And I say pretty consistently with a strong face because I have a playset of this, playset of this, playset of this. So there were plenty of archetypes, like especially Tron, that I was just consistently game 1, just turn 1, like turn 4, all their lands are gone. In this testing, it was very strong in our testing. The problem is I think people are very aware of this. So if I could have maybe found a different sideboard plan, I think at the GP I would have been happy to turn 4 get in people. But I'm probably playing something else. I'm probably playing the other deck. Which sucks because I really did want to jam, you know, turn 4 essentially win the game against certain decks, but it's fine. Now you might be wondering why if I put the Boom Busts, isn't this like a CMC2 play? Why are they in the 3s pile? Or for the whole get in thing, why am I not putting them in the 4s pile with the Becks? The reason being is this card actually is playable before you get to the Armageddon mode on the Brain Boom, Boom Brain, Boom Brain Bust, if you want to call it that, because you can run it with a Ghost Quarter, or especially the fetches. We're heavy on fetches for that reason because of its synergy with Boom. So you go land drop, land drop, land drop, make sure your last land drop is a fetch, tap tap, boom, targeting your fetch land and then one of their valuable lands, and then you crack the fetch before the Boom resolves. Or you technically have to hold priority there, but anyways. Still think Dredge is going to have a good showing at the GP, or do I think that Dredge is going to have a, it's not just one of the funnest cards. Like, here's the thing, how much mana do you have to actually pay for these spells? Let me show you something that's really, like, I really did want to take this one to the GP, by the way, guys. Let me show you something that's really what's stupid about Brain. If you haven't really done the mana calculation on this, this is why this card's potentially game-breaking. Albeit it's not good against Kolaghan's Command, it's not great against Spell Snare, and both of which we're going to see a lot of at the GP. Some decks will run both. Grixis. But let me show you something that's game-breaking. So you're not supposed to be able to do this for 4 mana. This is supposed to be a 6 mana play. So if you calculate the mana out, so casting Brain is 2 colorless, activating it once is 3 colorless, activating it a second time is 4 colorless. Now here's where that gets expensive. If you also have to search up that play, then it's fair costed because you're also incorporating what? Blue colorless? When this play was only 4 colorless mana, it was stupid. Because how much does Armageddon cost? I'm just trying to break this down for you guys so you understand why in our testing this is very powerful and kind of stupid. Yeah, so Geddon is a 4 mana play. It's, of course, got white mana in it. This is a colorless play, but this is also 2 pieces, whereas this is 1. This is more flexible because you get to use it earlier in the game than this. But yeah, I mean, like, Geddon is not in Modern for a reason, so build your own Geddon was kind of gross, in the testing anyway. Basically, any combo deck in the format, or Tron, just was dying to this, and it was really cool, but post-board you couldn't do that anymore, and then you had to, like, try to fight Tron like this, and it was ugly. It was rough. Yeah, like my sideboard plan for Tron was kind of like this. Surgicals came in, and then you board out the helixes entirely, and then you bring in the Wear Tear, and then you cut the Anger. And it looked kind of like this. and that was kind of the board plan for Tron. If you have anything else to cut, you could put in a Helix because it's a tutor target. But yeah, I mean, like you still want to place at a Boom Bust, and then you're like, and then you like reassess the deck, and you're like, well, wait a minute, BrewSpy, are you really that bad against Tron? No, the deck wasn't that horrible against Tron. I'm fully aware that the Jeskai deck is like under the radar right now, and then this is still tutoring. It's not really. This is still just tutoring these. It's not really being used as a counterspell, so we'll put that in the threes. So your curvature looks terrible. You actually sometimes against Tron have to aggressively use this and also blow up one of your own lands. It just feels awful. Feels the worst. But yeah, that was kind of the sideboard plan against Tron, and then maybe you don't run the Jace. Maybe Jace becomes a Helix. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. I find a lot of the time Tron players, not wrongingly, but they'll aggressively bring in Spellskite. So you kind of have to look out for that. The only answer I'm really running for Spellskite is going to be this, this, or this. So do you want just more ways to search up the Emmy? Or Jace is better in the grindier matchups. Tron's not really a grind. Tron is just, I'm doing this, you're dead. So maybe the Jace becomes just the Helix that's tutorable, just a tutorable burn spell. So those are your options. Yeah, like we had sideboard plans for Tron. We had ideas, You could even argue this spell. Countering or copying Sylvan Scrying is fine. You'd obviously rather just counter it though. So if you want that as an option, that's another option over that as well. Counters or copies the Sylvan Scrying. It's fine. Or you get to take out other things. Any considerations for Flagstones? No, the Flagstone was just awful in the mana base. I tried it. I tested it for a little bit at the end. Rayolan. It was just really hard on the mana base. If you cut the lighthouse could be the Flagstone, and the Fortress could be, like, these two could be Flagstones. But then, honestly, I'd rather just have Ghost Quarters there. But anyway. It depends. You can make the deck more combo-y. You could, like, go Flagstones. You could go, like, Simian Spirit Guide with this thing. If you really wanted to be more explosive. If you're going to do Simians, you got to cut the Cryptics. Vidillion Click, and I don't know, it's like you can build the deck a lot of different ways, which is nice. Just remember that you're going to be siding out the brain a lot. Like, there are plenty of people, plenty of decks. Most decks in Modern should have some form of artifact. Like, the archetypes that you get to leave in the brains against are things like Merfolk. Decks that don't have good answers for artifacts, you totally get to leave this in if you want to and just kind of reap the benefits of that. And against Merfolk, I'm not that interested in the Armageddon, but maybe you leave that in as a possibility. It hits Mutavault, just fine. But yeah, you want to be running between 3 and 4 Helix. I think timely reinforcements. I've seen some players running that in their sideboard. And I think it's fine against not burn. Which is weird because you want to bring it against burn. Against burn, they have 8 Skullcrack effects. They've got Playset of Atarka, Playset. In my testing, every time that I've tried to tap out for a timely and I didn't have the Spell Snare or the Dispel, I was dead. Because they just negated the life gain. Sure, I make 3 tokens, but it was not enough, team. It was not enough, so... There's a lot of reasons I'm not going to play this at the GP. I think too many people are thinking Jeskai with their sideboards. I think too many people are gunning for the deck, and that's fine. It's disappointing. I spent a lot of time on this deck. You guys, everybody knows that I would have loved to play this instead at the GP, but sometimes it just doesn't work out, guys. And sometimes somebody else plays something similar and does something like Jim's team did really well with this the Nahiri thing. So. Yeah, just unfortunately, I just don't think it's an option. But, I mean, okay, it's an option. I just don't think it's the right choice. How about that? I can't tell you, unfortunately, Angel. I'm trying to keep it confidential at the end. I know, Angel, you were one of the people that were going to try to lend me cards, but I ended up going with something just kind of out there. And I hope you guys forgive me for having to be secretive. I just can't reveal what I'm actually taking to the GP because I would kind of be, I don't know, just not only giving myself a disadvantage, like breaking the trust of my teammates. So, but we can jam on this tonight. This is what I was thinking of maybe taking to the GP. So let's cut the surgical because I don't have a second one, and let's just run something spicy, something just for funs. Maybe the twist just to test it. Maybe the twist? It might be fun. I was thinking about it twisted. Let's run the twist. It's spicy. Oh, am I still riding with you? I don't know. I might be riding up with Jeff. Can we talk about that later? I might be riding up with Jeff. So as long as you promise to make top 8, we can still watch. There isn't going to be coverage, Triple Cheese. Somebody told me that they weren't doing coverage, which is so strange. I thought they were. Play some Commandeer. That's real spice. Benny says keeping it together. I am. Oh, okay. I thought your username was different. My bad, Jeff. #1 fun of in modern. Yeah, Commandeer. How about bribery? Yeah, Commandeer, bribery. It's an option. Yeah. Let me check on something. I don't know if we have enough. I think we do. Let me see if I have enough for us to queue up with this if we want to jam. Something that might be more fun, though, than just jamming on this idea might be catching up on Tuesday Brews Day, showing you guys the deck that I had built. I built something pretty spicy. I know I mentioned it earlier. Let me see if I have any tickets to play. Yeah, bribery is super sweet. What's up, Zevo? Well, we have some packs I could sell.
Oh,
yeah, I've got enough. I've got 8 tickets for another list. That's perfect. Thanks for the follow, Reno. Welcome to the BrewSpy channel. And then we got points. So I'm good on both sides. We can queue with this. Just watch out for chokes and hibernations. Yeah, true. Wait, why do I care about hibernation? Yeah, Commandeer is pretty sweet in the Tron matchup. It is. It's super spicy. Yeah, choke and boil are more so what you're afraid of. Davin says, hey, Sean, coverage was great. Good to see you commenting again. It was fun, Davin. It was a fun time. Glad you were there. Glad you showed. How's it going, Jack? Sorry I didn't answer your text just yet. I was live this whole time. Otherwise, I would have. Yeah. I mean, I wish I could have played. I mean, we got something really spicy that our team could play instead. So we had a plan B, which is important. How about I screenshot this and then we're gonna talk. We're gonna do like a quick breakdown of Brews Day. I can't actually play the deck I brewed for you guys, so that's actually why this is a fine alternative to that. I can't because I don't own like a lot of the cards I need to play it, and it's very expensive. Played against mono. Turn 3 cards stolen. Oh man. But yes, to answer your tweets and your texts, Jack, I would like to hang out with you guys Friday night if I can. Jack says, are you talking about playing it? No. This is just a brew. But let me show it to you. It's called, it may not show up here though because, let's see, Bant. Because I built it on my laptop, so I might have to rebuild it. That would really suck. I know it's going to be down here because I don't own all the cards. Hang on, let me see if it's there. Bant, company. Gotcha. So this is what I was going to show you guys yesterday, but I wasn't feeling up to it. I wasn't feeling well yesterday, so forgive me. But today, I'm happy to show you my Mirror Weave deck. So this is just a prototype, forgive me. It's got a lot of cuteness, but it's actually got some really cool interactions that company decks just aren't doing. It's got one-sided sweepers. It's got Tutorable Geist of St. Traff for all the Jeskai decks that are showing up, and I've had